this variation in dust can help you basically when you're using different types of woods, figure out how much downward pressure to use. So it doesn't differ per se. I mean, obviously it's different with different woods because different woods are going to have different consistencies of pressure, right? So a softer wood, you're not going to have to press down very hard to get light powder, but a harder wood, you have to press down harder for a harder wood because it's harder to generate powder at all. So there's this interesting thing I've noticed where there's sort of like a window of pressure that shrinks around harder woods, because with a harder wood, if you press down not hard enough, you're going to get glaze. So the spindle, the friction is actually going to glaze over and basically fire harden the tip. And then you have no friction at all, right? Because it's this shiny glazed tip. You weren't pressing down hard enough. So essentially you were just sort of smoothing it, not grinding it. So with a harder wood, you have to press down hard. But if you press down too hard with a harder wood, then you get that char. So there's this window between hard, too hard and not hard enough. Not hard enough, you're going to get glaze. Too hard, you're going to get char. And I think that window shrinks with a harder wood. So it's really challenging with harder woods because you have to be looking at the powder to see if it's that lighter color or if it's, coming out charred, and then figure out just how much pressure and maintain that pressure while you're drilling. So it's a lot more challenging with harder woods, but that's kind of one of those little secrets or tricks, is to understand like how much pressure do I need to apply to this? Just look at the color and consistency of the powder. Am I pressing too hard? What does the powder look like? Am I not pressing hard enough? If it's coming out and it's like barely, any dark color at all, like, with a softwood, if you're pressing very lightly, you might just be getting like super pale, barely charred fluff. And that's probably not going to be hot enough to generate a spark to even get a fire to begin with, right? So that chocolate brown color is going to be real fine, but also you're going to be pressing down hard enough to eventually generate a spark. I hope that makes sense.